Hey guys, be sure and check out the My Ambitions as a Writer blog where I, the Mrs. Morgan you know, Kate Morgan, shares my many opinions, stands with women everywhere, and stays rough and rugged addressing the mass public. Visit themorganuknow.com/blog. Enjoy!
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan You Know podcasting network. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Rod. Rod, what are you hot about tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm hot about. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the true crime podcast genre, but apparently we may need one of those in the WWE right now. Does somebody want to change gimmick to one of those? Because apparently Elias has been kidnapped, possibly murdered, and his brother Ezekiel has just stepped in to his spot in the WWE, and none of us care about it. He took over his Twitter account, and we're just fine with Elias being completely gone, Jimmy. I, for one, want to be on record as I am deeply disturbed that Elias is maybe kidnapped, maybe dead, and we are now dealt with his brother Ezekiel. So I'm disturbed.
Are you one to walk with Elias?
I was down to walk with Elias, right? Elias, we went through this whole thing where Elias told us that he was dead, but then he said he's not really dead, right? Like that was the whole video package where it was the point was Elias is dead, but he's actually not dead. But now he may be dead because his brother has kidnapped him and stolen his spot in the WWE.
So, as always, we have WrestleMania weekend, which is a glorious weekend, and then we have the Raw after WrestleMania, which is always a very hype show, and apparently more people watched this Raw than have watched since the last reunion show they had. So that was huge for them. A lot of things happened on the show. Let's just dive into it right there. Rod, did you know Ezekiel was Elias when he first came out to interrupt Kevin Owens?
I mean, I certainly had a bit of an idea because I mean, I'm one who's on Twitter, so I had seen some of the wrestling elite there on Twitter talking about it, and he definitely resembled him. But I mean, I guess I thought to myself for a second, okay, maybe this is something else. But I left Kevin Owens basically. No, dude, you're Elias.
Yeah. I love that. So with Elias. Let's give Elias his strengths. His character, his guitar playing, his look, which was unique. The only downside he had really was he wasn't that very good in the ring. Okay, he was manageable, but he wasn't the best, Rod. So let's take away his look, his character, his music, and let's just put him in tights and have him wrestle. I don't know if I'm buying this, buddy. I don't know if I'm buying it.
Yeah, he was like, and those tights were so light too. Like it was almost like a naked man was walking down to the ring because he didn't have the big Elias beard and everything. It was just weird.
I felt like one of those kids that you see on Instagram stories when they see their dad after he shaved. It's like, is that really you? Is that you? Are you sure?
That's what I would look like. I haven't shaved in over 2 decades, so if I did that I'd look exactly as weird as Ezekiel/Elias did on Monday Night Raw.
What if you shaved your head and you? Oh wow!
See, exactly.
No one would know who you were.
No, it wouldn't. And then let's stay with the other big arrival on Raw, even though we'd seen him before. Veer Mahaan, who apparently we're supposed to think is a big deal because they told us he was coming, and now he's Veer Mahaan and not just Veer, who's with Shanky.
We're going to talk a lot about names today again because for whatever reason, oh my God, Vince McMahon can't make up his mind. Oh, we're going to do a Gonzalez. Oh, we're going to do Rodriguez. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. What is going on? Now it's Veer. All this time, Veer Mahaan. I actually kind of just liked Veer myself. I'm usually a first name, last name guy. But Veer came in and just, all right, well, first of all, Dominic Mysterio got beat by Miz in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So
yeah. Tough look for Dominic, tough. As I like to say.
Tough look. Then Veer came in, and I honestly thought he was going to maybe side with like a Funkasaurus type thing where you have this really badass guy coming in, and then he's just like a fun guy. But no, he just destroyed the Mysterio. So he's gonna go against Rey Mysterio this week. I have a feeling though, Rod, this is going to be a 3-week and out thing for Veer. Veer looks good though. I mean, he does pretty decent in the ring. It's pretty funny on Twitter.
But you killed that. You didn't even give him a chance to have anything to do with the funny personality that he has on Twitter by making him be this guy.
Yeah, it's just one of those, hey, it's 80s, it's Hulk Hogan as a champion, you need some bad guy. that has black tights on. And
well, we
and is
don't need
big.
bad guys. That's the other thing that makes no sense about it. And I bet we'll get into this as we go on a little bit here. We don't need bad guys. We got plenty of bad guys right now. We could have used Veer coming in with a little bit of babyface energy and just being the funny guy from Twitter, like you were saying, the Funkasaurus type idea. They definitely made a mistake here because I agree with you. We're not going to see much from him other than for a few weeks. Burn bright and be gone.
You're going to see that I was not a big fan of this Raw after WrestleMania with a lot of storylines that came out of it.
Oh, I got something to say about the very end when we get there. Don't worry. I got a little diatribe for the end.
Including Sasha Banks and Naomi beat Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan in a championship opportunity match.
Yes.
Clean in the middle of the ring. Okay? So they lost their championship opportunity. Okay, cool. And then later in the show, Rhea Ripley just asks if they can have one, and it's granted. So I think you're gonna get your wish here, bud. I think Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan are gonna break up, and I think Rhea Ripley is gonna be a bad guy and get pushed a lot. So I think you're gonna get your wish there. But this is ridiculous. They lost the match clean in the middle of the ring, but yet they still get a championship opportunity the next week. I don't get it.
Well, it just continues to be what I say about Adam Pearce, right? I don't want to break too bad about Adam Pearce on this podcast because I think he does a fair enough job for what they ask him to do, right? Like I equate Adam Pearce almost with Frank Vogel, right? Like, what do you want Frank Vogel to do on the Lakers, right? Like, Frank Vogel can't tell LeBron James what to do. LeBron James is going to do what LeBron James wants to do. He can't tell Russell Westbrook what to do. And then his GM, Rob Pelinka, undercuts what Frank Vogel does best, defense, gets rid of everybody on his team that can play defense, gives him nobody that can actually play, and then is going to fire him at the end of the year, right? So I understand that Adam Pearce is handcuffed. But yeah, all you got to do is show up, say, Adam, give me a match, and he does. That's essentially his only role. So yeah, it's ridiculous that, as you said, clean beat in the ring, no schmaz, no interference, no nothing, clean beat in the middle of the ring, and then all you got to do is ask for a match, and now on Raw, you're getting it's ridiculous. But you know what I heard? What I heard is Rhea Ripley may end up with Edge and the new Damian Priest stable. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be interesting, and you saw a little bit about that in their promo with Edge and Priest, where the crowd kind of shat on them a little bit. They did have a couple of nice comebacks, but you know, whatever. That was a long talking segment. And yeah, Edge is a bad guy. Priest is going to be his disciple. I think if Rhea Ripley joins them, that's going to be kind of a cool trio there for sure.
She gives them a little bit more heat, right? Like I think they realize they need somebody because, as you said, the crowd was not buying it. As much as we all love Edge and as much as Edge is a Hall of Famer, the crowd was definitely not buying it. But I felt like Priest did handle it like a pro. That was something I noticed, right? He handled the crowd like just because that's got to be rough when you're in the middle of a talking segment, which maybe you're not fully behind anyway, and then the crowd's getting on you. That's got to be a tough spot to be in.
It is, and someone who didn't have to really do that was Cody Rhodes, who came out to open the show, and he had the crowd in the palm of his hand. He had a great story. I think a lot of the stories he's told on the podcast recently, and that story in the middle of the ring, I mean, is mostly true. And I think that they're going to mess him up. But I think that he needs to be a champion. You know, whether it be wait until, you know, if the belt's split up, that's easy. Whichever one Roman doesn't have, he's the champion for that.
Which is all that's going to happen. You and I both know it. I mean, nobody's got near enough heat to take the Universal belt off of Roman Reigns anytime soon.
That can't happen. I mean, it would have to be a WrestleMania thing, and they want Rock to be at WrestleMania, which again I don't understand because it's not. You know, what do they do after WrestleMania? But yeah, so I think Cody Rhodes did a great job there. He's going to face The Miz either later tonight or tomorrow, depending on when you're listening to this, on Raw. And that really, Rod, that should be a 1.5-minute match. That should be a quick match. Miz
well, I mean, we just saw Miz dispatch of Dominic Mysterio, so clearly The Miz is hot.
It should be, yeah, he's very hot. He should destroy The Miz, and I don't know if he's going to. I think it's going to be a little longer than it should be.
He's definitely not going to. The Miz is a trusted hand. They're not going to do him like that, especially if it doesn't really tell a great story. And right now, it doesn't tell any kind of a great story for Miz, so he's not going to get mopped up like that.
I've taught you well, my son. I've taught you well. Dolph Ziggler and Braun Breaker, and one of the weirdest this whole Braun Breaker, this past week for Braun Breaker has been really weird. So he loses at Stand and Deliver, but then wins the next night on Raw. That's tough to give to your audience who, who watched a lot of wrestling. I mean, that if they watch Stand and Deliver, that's 11 hours of wrestling in a weekend, and to not see Braun Breaker win that, but just to see him win the next night on Raw, I don't know if I like that. Obviously, we do that for the ratings to make sure that people see Braun Breaker and they get their big Raw after WrestleMania moment. I think it could have just been easily done as just a rematch, but that's good for Braun Breaker. Got a big win.
Yeah, and it's also, I suppose, good that we acknowledged that he is Rick Steiner's son as well, which was sort of something they kind of just danced around. And I mean, we're not going to change his name, apparently, at least not right away, but we've at least acknowledged that we know who he is and what lineage he comes for, so that can only mean good things for him. And yeah, no, it's definitely tough for the NXT heads out there to see just yet another time where they basically did the Calvin and Hobbes bumper sticker on the back of cars and just pissed all over NXT with just having the belt change hands right away again on Raw. But it was a cool match. I like seeing Braun Breaker fight. I'm just going to come at it from that angle for right now.
And the good news is they're not going to do any weird angles with Rick Steiner or anything like that. Oh no, he got kidnapped on Tuesday. Never mind.
Right.
Never mind on that one.
I heard about that. I didn't watch NXT, but I did hear about that.
Tag team match: RK Bro and Finn Balor versus the Usos and Austin Theory. They are pushing the Usos mega right now. They are looking to go to Raw and capture. Roman Reigns says go to Raw and unify the tag team championship. So I think we're going to see that match tomorrow on Raw. Usos and Theory get the win. Finn Balor cannot win because he is a champion. I believe that is written into the contract. What do you think about this one?
Really, what I remember thinking about this one was what's happened to our guy Finn Balor, right? He's up on top of the ropes as the Demon, wrestling a wonderful match against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Now he is the United States Champion who ended up in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal before WrestleMania even kicked off, the SmackDown before WrestleMania, and was thrown out of the ring by Madcap Moss. What happened to our guy Finn, Jim?
Can you imagine if Finn Balor and Ricochet had to fight each other? They would just stare at each other the whole time saying, well, I can't win. Well, I can't win. Well, you can't win. I can't win. Who can win? It's just they don't know what to do with any. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
He still has heat, right? Everybody's
got a
buys
gimmick.
that
Everyone
dude's
loves
intro.
him. Everyone loves him. And guess what? Throw him in the Demon again. People are going to go apeshit for it. But again, they don't know how to do anything. That's fine. It's just me. I'm not the whatever. Texas Tornado match.
Which was cool that they made it a Texas Tornado match.
Yeah.
I was giving Adam Pearce heat earlier. That was one of the times where his gimmick was good there. He came out, hey, stop this. This is what we're going to do. Like, that was like, okay, you do more stuff like that, Adam Pearce. I'll see more of a reason for you.
Street Profits and Alpha Academy. Street Profits pick up a big one here against the Alpha Academy. What'd you think about that one?
I still just continue to think to myself, what are we doing? And then I guess the answer, like as you alluded to earlier there, became clear on SmackDowns. The tag teams are going to be tried to be unified, I guess. The Usos are going to be in a thing with RK Bro, so it almost doesn't matter what happens with the Alpha Academy and the Street Profits. But I will say this, I continue to be impressed by Montez Ford, and I continue to be impressed by Gable, right? I think Chad Gable can work a really, really good match, and I think it was interesting that we saw Gable going back to WrestleMania was the one involved with Stevenson. So, you know, that's a potential good thing. I think I like his work. I like that we have T-shirts for him now. I like the shush. I like the Alpha Academy.
I do kind of like the shush. It's quite fun actually. So that's kind of fun. So I mean, other than that, I thought the Raw after WrestleMania was kind of blah.
Let's just get to this here, Jimmy. I want to do this. You're gonna just give me the floor here for a second, okay?
Sure.
So this is the Raw after WrestleMania. We are all incredibly excited to see Roman Reigns. What is he gonna say? What's gonna happen next? We have about 14 minutes carved out for the Tribal Chief at the end of Raw.
Yes.
And what happens in this 14 minutes, Jimmy?
Which new contender came out? Came out, Rod?
Well, even before we get there, Jim, he comes out. He looks at the crowd. The crowd cheers him. He raises belts in the air. Fireworks go off. He walks to the ring, walks around the ring, looks at the crowd again, walks into the ring, gets the belts handed to him yet again, raised to the sky yet again. Fireworks go off. That's like 7 minutes right there where nothing even happens. Okay.
Yep.
Heyman does his thing. Roman gets the mic. We go to break. We come back from break. Roman essentially then says, check me out on SmackDown. I couldn't help but think to myself, if you're the USA Network, what are you saying to yourself there? We got great ratings, yes, but I built the whole night up to tell somebody to watch a show on another network. I couldn't believe that that's how we ended Raw.
Well, I couldn't believe it's how you ended SmackDown, too. We'll talk
At
about
least in
that here in a
SmackDown, he
second.
said something. At least in SmackDown, he said something. He told the Usos to go fight the RK Bros, but he didn't say anything about what he's doing.
And we have a possible match set up for coming up with SmackDown. But yeah, listen, you're expecting someone to come out. Who's the next challenger? Who is it?
And then
'Cause
definitely on
Lesnar
SmackDown,
wasn't
I
gonna
thought
be
for
there.
sure Drew McIntyre was in the building. He already had more heat again, proving that Drew McIntyre never loses, which you talked about, right? Drew
Sure.
McIntyre never loses to anybody. So he beats Sami Zayn. Great performance by Sami Zayn on SmackDown. And I guess we can
Great.
just jump over to SmackDown
Yeah,
here.
sure.
Great
Always
performance by our
great.
guy Sami Zayn here. And then so Drew McIntyre, hot. Fans are buying him. He doesn't even show up at the end of SmackDown. I don't get it, man.
So Nakamura comes out at the end of SmackDown.
Ridiculous.
And I'm a huge Nakamura fan, right? But he was in a tag team for a little while, and he was a Intercontinental champion kind of before that for like 6 years, but never wrestled with the belt. He comes out, and I like the fact that he was not buying anything that Roman Reigns was saying. Okay, I thought that was good. I thought that when Roman Reigns hugged him, Nakamura's face was like, he literally said, "What are you doing? Like, what's going on here? This is awkward. I'm not really a fan of this." But then they just beat him down. Like that doesn't do anything. That doesn't set up Nakamura. So is he supposed to be the contender now because he came in and got his butt kicked?
Well,
Like,
of course
I don't
not.
understand that.
Because speaking to long-term storytelling, like you talk about all the time, Nakamura doesn't have near enough heat to do anything with Roman Reigns right now. So the minute his music dropped, we were all like, wait a minute, what's this about? We knew something was going to be completely ridiculous because never in a million years do we think it would be legitimate for Shinsuke Nakamura to have a shot against Roman Reigns right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I think
It's got to be Cody, but you're absolutely right that they're not going to let him rise that fast. But it's got to be Cody. The only thing that makes sense right now is that you extreme heat for Cody Rhodes. He wins the king. He wins the Money in the Bank, right? Get Cody Rhodes to win Money in the Bank. Boom, he cashes that in against Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that though. I don't know if they want to have him win it that way, but he could for sure. Let's go to other SmackDown. A lot more stuff happened on SmackDown. Lacey Evans is back. She had a video package, basically telling her true story, which is people what they thought she should have been in the first place. Do you remember Lacey Evans, the Southern Belle character that she had before?
I saw a match or two of hers, and then I saw her in when I would check out a women's rumble. You know what I mean? Like she'd end up in the women's rumble from certain years that I would check back in on the rumble. So yeah, but I will say this: Mrs. Morgan, happened to be sitting by with me when I was watching that, and she found that quite compelling. She actually looked up from what she was doing and paid attention to her doing that just straight to camera, telling her life story. So we'll see where they take it from here.
Yeah, I hope because she does have a great story. She's got a good look. She's got decent mic skills. Just what she had before was kind of pointless. So good for her. Hopefully she gets a nice second life here in WWE. Speaking of second lives, we had Pete Dunne transform into Butch. So Butch made his in-ring debut as Butch against Xavier Woods and promptly lost and threw a fit because he's a small child person who just likes to beat people up.
A small child person. That's a pretty apt description of what they got going with Butch right now.
Oh, that's Butch. So
we also have
thanks
Xavier
for
Woods
that.
now, two SmackDowns in a row, beating somebody with a roll-up. And in the previous SmackDown, not this week's, but the previous, Xavier Woods admitted that the roll-up is basically his best move.
Hey, use it if it can work, right? We also have. Well, if you want to talk about Zayn and McIntyre anymore. Just how good that was.
I just think Sami Zayn is great, right? And we want to talk a little bit about you're still basking in the glow of WrestleMania, right? For two guys from Canada who basically look like everymen in Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to basically be the trusted hands at WrestleMania from Vince McMahon to be like, hey, Kevin Owens, you're going to get in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin for the first time in 19 years. And Sami Zayn, you're the one we trust with the Jackass crew to be able to pull off something and make it great is just awesome. And I continue to be in awe of what Sami Zayn does as a performer.
Yeah, he's great. I love Sami Zayn and everything that he does, and I couldn't agree with you more. So what did you think about, dude, Imperium? Okay. So you have Walter, you have...
oh, yeah, goodness. Yeah, thank you. I'd almost forgotten about this, so I guess maybe that gives you a hint of what I thought about it.
So you have Walter, Fabian Eichner, and Marcel Bartel in NXT UK. Walter is a like 6'4", 280-pound. He's a big guy. He doesn't have, the best physique, but he is amazing. Does a lot of great moves, chops the hell out of people, and is so over it's not even funny. Okay. And then, listening to the Wrestling Observer, basically, Keith Lee and Walter were both told you need to lose weight. Keith Lee didn't. He's gone. He's in AEW. Walter looks fantastic. Like, he really does look good. He has done a great job, because I know you don't really know much about him, Rod.
But I had seen those matches where he fought against the Russian dude, and they were just brutal matches. I'd seen those two. So, yeah, he was a lot thicker in those matches than he was in the one I saw the other night.
So we're going to take Walter. We're going to take Marcel Bartel and change them into Gunther, which I don't care if it was it was a horrible idea for the whole Nazi thing. Horrible idea. Walter is the guy's name. Like, that's his name. And then Ludwig Kaiser, which, okay, he's got to be a Kaiser because he's from Germany. We get it. And then Eichner he's not even on the team anymore. So we have those two guys. They're going to be a tag team. However, they debut as basically Kaiser is his talking, his manager, and Gunther is the one who just destroys some Joe Alonzo, some poor guy who got killed by Gunther.
What was that about? I hadn't seen anything like that since I'd come back, really, where they just threw some random dude in there to get jobbed. I hadn't seen that since like the Saturday night's main event days.
But that's a good thing, though. You got to throw people in there, have them kill somebody, build them up. And then then you go against a Miz, or before a Cesaro or somebody like that who's good in the ring or
Can't
good
be
on the
Cesaro
mic.
anymore.
Can't be Cesaro anymore, of course. But then you do that. So I'm a little nervous. I don't know. Walter looks really good, but his look.
Those chops are brutal, right? Like, you can sell those chops. You can make that a thing. That could be his gimmick. That can be his angle. The people like the stadium that it's in or the arena will reverberate every time he does one. I mean, that's a thing you can sell. But I don't know, man. The German thing, you're right. It's tough, man. You just kind of feel icky when they're doing it. Like you say to yourself, I get it, okay, I get it, but you're like, I don't know that I want to get it, and it's something that I think they need to try to move past, but they're not going to, clearly.
The Germans are kind of our friends and stuff now, so it's kind of weird. Kayla's backstage with Raquel Rodriguez. In NXT, she was Raquel Gonzalez for years. She and Dakota Kai actually won the championship a few days ago and then lost them this past week. And the reason why is because they brought Raquel up. She's still kind of green, but she's big and she's got a good look. So I think she'll do well. We need as many talented people in the SmackDown as well. But then the Los Lotharios thing is so weird that they just come in and do that to her like that. She should have debuted beating somebody that you've never heard of before too. That's how you build people up.
She should have just beat them dudes down when they offered to do that to her instead of just turning them down and making fun of them. She should have just beat them dudes up.
Beat the heck out. That's a really good call, buddy. I like that a lot. All right, your boy Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. The marriage is over, bud. I'm so sorry.
I don't know that I am sorry, right? I don't know that I am sorry. I think this is great by Happy. This is just more stuff out of my guy Corbin here, just getting a guy over, just completely producing Madcap Moss. The only reason he went down to the ring that evening was to get the crowd chanting Madcap, and that happened. So my guy Corbin did what he was supposed to.
He did. Jinder Mahal is going to get an Intercontinental Championship match against Ricochet and probably beat Ricochet.
Thank God you brought this up. What has happened to the Intercontinental Championship, Jim? What has happened? I mean, Jinder Mahal now just gets to go call to Adam Pearce that he's going to fight for it. Ricochet's been beaten. I mean, what has happened to the Intercontinental Championship? Mr. Perfect used to wear this belt, Jimmy.
A lot of great wrestlers used to wear that belt, and a terrific wrestler, probably one of the top 10 in the world, is wearing it right now, and they're not doing anything with it. So hopefully this is a win for Ricochet. I have a feeling it will not be, or it will be something weird. Let's talk about some women's wrestling here. Ronda Rousey cannot speak, Rod. Can like anybody that can talk on a microphone be her manager? Can we just have that happen? She'd be a lot better if it was.
Can we just have a female who has somebody who's a special advocate or a counsel or something? Can we just have some female who has a manager? That'd be a good idea. And why not Ronda be the first one?
It makes no sense to me. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, Charlotte couldn't even be there. She was on the screen. It's an I Quit match at WrestleMania Backlash. And
I couldn't believe they let her open SmackDown as well. That to me was just like, really? This is what you got? Friday Night SmackDown first back at you're going with Ronda?
Yep. I am intrigued to see what will happen with this match. Here's the thing, Rod. I don't know if someone's going to actually quit, and that's how the match is lost. You know what I mean? I think
Are we going all the way back to the
or something weird
Attitude Eras with a playing of a tape of somebody saying it, right? Isn't that how Mankind lost to The Rock?
I quit for sure. Now, something that was a pretty good match: Sasha Banks and Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan got a big win here against Sasha Banks. Love that. Love to see people get over Sasha. You can't hurt Sasha. She's one of the best ever. And it does actually set up perhaps the championship match on Raw.
I'll take it. Listen, Liv's got a little bit of heat. A victory for her is a good thing because she basically just existed to lose all the time, right? So now you hook her up with Rhea Ripley. Maybe Rhea's going to, break off and do her own thing, but it can only end up meaning good things for Liv because maybe it makes her into a bit more of a babyface, female, and we could use a couple of those too, right? It can't just be Bianca Belair. It's the only one here to save the entire women's division on the face side. We got to have somebody.
And if you're listening to this and have not seen Bianca Belair's Instagram pictures, please go see that when she got kicked right in the face by Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Eye swollen shut. Happy birthday, Bianca. You can't see. So there's that.
You know something I just thought of, speaking of that? I don't know why that made me think of this, but we left out of Raw the fact that Bobby Lashley and MVP are no more.
How did I miss that? Yeah, that's right. Because you know what? We already talked about that. We texted back and forth about that. That's why I already thought we had talked about it. Yeah, it's the only thing you can do for Almost right now. Only thing you can do for Almost right now, right?
And yeah, he's one of the worst speakers as far as the men right now, period. So give him MVP all day long, right? And then Lashley can probably get over his face now at this point because, MVP screwed him and he's going to still be going against Omos, who's clearly the fans don't buy into. So it's good. But you've let me in that face Lashley doesn't go so great sometimes. So I'll be interested to see how it goes this time.
Yeah, I think if he goes against Roman, I think it'll be a pretty good matchup. But people are gonna cheer Roman, I think, as well. So we'll see what happens there. That does it for Raw and SmackDown. So Rod, about a week after WrestleMania, we're a week out. What are your thoughts overall? Do you still enjoy the show? Last time we talked was literally 10 minutes after the show ended on Sunday.
Well, here's what I'm going to do, Jim. I'm going to get a little controversial on you here when we first talk about it, and then I'll, of course, start being glowing and say it was great by the end. But, what I honestly am thinking now, a week out, I don't know how great for you it is that the two biggest moments, and I made mention of this immediately after the show, I did. I made more of a jest, but still, I don't know how great it is for you that your big moments were Johnny Knoxville, Hollywood star, Pat McAfee, commentator, Vince McMahon, 76-year-old chairman, Stone Cold Steve Austin, back for 19 years after, away and clearly not coming back again. These are your big moments. Those were all great. And you got eyeballs to Peacock, and you got a whole bunch of people watching it, and you got a whole bunch of people who tuned in again on Monday night after Raw. But we, guys who already are marks and are in, we just talked about how disappointed we were and how we have no idea where it's moving forward. People who just popped in for WrestleMania and Raw, there's no way they were hooked by anything because you didn't see Stone Cold again. Vince McMahon's not going to wrestle. Pat McAfee's not on Raw. You know what I mean? Johnny Knoxville's not coming back again. Logan Paul, again, that's another problem. How much roses did we give Logan Paul? But he makes so much money just being Logan Paul. It's not like he's going to show up as much as the WWE wants him to either, and he's going to be able to call his own shot when he does. So looking back on it now, I loved it and thought it was a great WrestleMania and a huge comeback kind of after still the pandemic era, which we were kind of in. But man, moving forward, not any huge stars were more created or nobody was given a whole lot of momentum other than folks who already had it.
And it really overshadowed the Becky-Bianca match. Becky had given an interview, why weren't they the main event? And it was kind of a shoot interview where, Ronda and Charlotte weren't even close, the stories that they were telling. And it's true, they weren't. And they had a terrific WrestleMania match that could have ended the show. It overshadowed a little bit Cody Rhodes' return as well, because Cody Rhodes was like the third or fourth story down instead of the first or second story down. And that was a terrific match with your boy Rollins. So I agree with you. I've always said, celebrity involvement is fine in WrestleMania, but you need to figure out what you're going to do the next day. Who's coming back? Brock Lesnar didn't come back. And the people that you mentioned aren't coming back. And especially now, Rod, where it does not matter how many people buy your pay-per-view because there is no pay-per-view. I mean, there is, but hardly anybody buys it. You know what I mean? So I think we've got a big week here on the Morgan You Know podcasting network. You want to give us a little preview of what to expect this week?
Well, let's start here with our wrestling fans who know of our guy, Gig Guy Warner, very, very well. He's appeared on this podcast a couple of times now, and we all know him to be a character. Something else he is a great musician and a true Beatles fan. So he joins me, the Mrs. Morgan You Know, and our resident music expert here on the Morgan You Know Podcast Network, Matt Record, for a discussion all about the Beatles. That's going to come out for you on Tuesday. Look for that. That's a whole lot of fun. A playlist of cool Beatles tunes will be available on Spotify, along with the podcast where we talk a little bit about the Get Back documentary that was on Disney Plus and the Beatles overall. And then, of course, we will have Survivor Wednesday. And then Thursday, maybe Friday, we're not sure yet, Balls and Brew will have an NBA playoff preview because we kind of want to let the play-in stuff play out at the beginning of the week before we jump on and say what's going to be what.
Tweet at YeahWeKnowPod. Email yeahweknowpod@gmail.com. You have been listening to the Yeah We Know Podcast. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Hot Rod.
I miss Robert Stack quite often because I loved Robert Stack and Unsolved Mysteries, but man, we could really use him right now to figure out what happened to my guy Elias and how we're just totally cool with his brother just completely taking over his shine.